Alrighty, all done. Got my H stakes for yard signs. Got my blades for my rolling. Rolling. And now I am on my way to Chick-fil-A. Before I go home, hopefully, I need to go to Home Depot because I need the frame for my pegboards that my husband is supposed to be finishing up while I'm out and about. And that's like one of the last little pieces. I have the pegboard hooks for the cups coming at some point today, and then I'll be able to put all of those things up. It's like the hardest part about the organizational stuff is like the little small miscellaneous things, so like where to put those. The big items, real easy. It's all the little small stuff. So hopefully, get all that done and we'll have all of this set up. Oh, you're turning? Okay. By the end of the week is my goal. All right. All right, so hello. Welcome. I was letting it get all the the notifications and stuff sent out. Now, I don't know if I am public from Shaquille Lavelle. So if you're watching and it says Shaquille Lavelle at the top instead of Silaholics Anonymous, like it's the actual one, not the one inside of a group, I won't be able to see the comments. You may want to go to either my YouTube or my Silaholics Anonymous or Silaholics Anonymous Facebook page, because I won't be able to. I may or may not be able to see comments. But hello, everyone. I am Shakia, the professor of HSE 365. The parent company of Silaholics Anonymous, Honestly Speaking, and 365 Creative Academy, where we help you to unlock your creativity. I like to ride and go live and just chit chat. It's a great way for me to kind of kill two birds with one stone, which I actually hate that analogy. I really need to stop saying it. But I'm able to do what I need to do. And while I'm driving, I don't really listen to music in the car anyway, and I'm able to help you guys. So feel free to post any question that you have. How to properly trademark name and other items. As someone who went through trying to do it myself, I will say that even if you try and go through all the stuff yourself, definitely get with a trademark specialist, a trademark lawyer who can really walk you through everything and how to categorize stuff, because if not, you end up wasting money, end up having to abandon it for a moment. Trust me, I know. But there are ways for you to DIY it and do it yourself. They're going to ask you for a lot of different things. A lot of people try to wait until everything is like perfect and then apply for their trademark, which is not actually a good thing. It's better to have put it out there and there's evidence that you have used it. It makes it easier for your trademark to be approved, or at least send yourself an official email with all of with all that information stuff. But there's a couple DIY sites that you can go through to do it, or you can end up getting a representative such as a trademark lawyer to, go through all of the things and the categories and stuff like that. If it's for a logo, it is better to have your logo and things solidified and done. That way you can submit that, what they call a specimen of that. They're going to ask you for examples of it used in a couple different places. You're going to have to upload a couple different specimens. So it takes a little bit when it comes to that. That's why it really is good to consult with a trademark specialist, a trademark lawyer, so that you don't miss all of those little things. Even if it's just a consultation with them to understand what you need to do, but then you do it yourself so you can kind of save on that fee for them filing it. You can go through it that way. Your live from this morning got me in my feelings. I'm rethinking my business practices, gave me a lot to think about. Oh, I'm going to contact you. I need to unpack that. That might be a good one to do for my professor call for this week. We need to unpack that one. I need to know what are your thoughts on that? Like, what do you mean as far as like business practices? I would love to hear your feedback and how that live this one affected you. I can't see names because you're in the group. You guys have to give StreamYard permission to show your names. Yes, it costs money. It costs money to trademark. It's a couple $100. To just do like, I mean, if you do it all yourself, it's a couple hundred. It's, you know, it can be high hundreds, low thousands if you end up having a trademark lawyer do everything for you, but it's not something that really is free. Now, copywriting was a little bit easier. It's a little bit different because I have my Black Pledge copywritten. So that was a little bit easier. I was able to do that myself. I have the certificate, all that stuff, but the trademark, because there are certain classifications and you have to really know what class and for what services, what products, and like what area you want that trademark to be for. You have to be very specific. It's a little bit more when it comes to trademark versus copyright. And those are two different things that people try to use interchangeably, and they are not the same. There's a very, very, very big difference between copyright, trademark, patent, and all those different things. Yeah, so when people are always hollering out, oh, well, get your design copywritten and get that, or get it trademarked, get this, you're paying for each one of those, and then you have to indicate. So if it's like a specific design, okay, you're going to have to protect that, whether it's, okay, is that something you're going to put on shirt, on apparel, on drinkware, or like hard substrates, or is it like for furniture? Is it for this? Is it for that? Like, you have to put all of those classifications in, and depending on how many classifications it falls under, that also affects the cost and stuff. So there's a bit to it. So I recommend, in hindsight, when I say if, when I do it all over again, we'll just go through our lawyer, because I've now gone and talked to a couple of different ones, and we're kind of settled on who we want to use. So when I go forward with other stuff that we have in the works, definitely going through my trademark lawyer. Will it be wise to do all three? No, so a patent, no, you don't do, a patent has nothing to do. A patent is for a product and how it's made. So that has nothing to do. You don't copyright your name. That's for a work. What you do with your business name is you trademark it. That's the only thing that you really do with that, is trademark that name. Patent is more so for inventions and creations and how it's made, and it's unique to how your company is making it, like from scratch. So no, they are not, again, they are not interchangeable. You don't need all three. For logos for your business, it would be a trademark. And when you're doing patents, if you have like something that you feel like you created and you want to have a patent, that is something you definitely, definitely, definitely need a patent lawyer for. And they're totally different. There are lawyers that specialize in patents. And it's not the same as trademarks and copyrights and all of those things, because if you used something else that has a specific patent to make your item, there are certain things that you have to go through because you're using part of theirs. So it might be a screw, a panel, or whatever, to where you DIY'd something and you want to be able to make it. But if it infringes on somebody else's patent, there's like little things you have to do because your patent includes somebody else's patent. And that's why sometimes you see all of those different numbers and stuff on there, because it involves several different patents in that one thing. So something like that is where you definitely have to spend the money on a patent lawyer, to make sure that you don't get sued later on when someone finds out that you used someone else's original concept to put in with yours to make the whole thing. Hopefully that makes sense. You are welcome. I still don't know who it is. You have to give StreamYard permission for me to see your name, but you are welcome. Oh, okay, it's Tina. Okay, cool beans. Anyone else have any questions for moi? Wait a minute, what the heck is going on? Do you need an LLC when you start your business or just a resale license? You don't need either. It depends on where you are, what it is that you want to do. Can you start a business without either one? Yes, you can. When you get, I always say getting your resale it's almost like a Trojan horse, because what you're really doing once you get your resale is the state now knows that you are doing business, and now you become a tax agent for the state. When you collect your sales taxes, that money is not for you. When people always say, oh, then it does this plus tax. If you're not paying out taxes to your state, there's really no reason for you to be taking sales tax. But when you're conducting sales, technically, like as a full-on business and you are really conducting business, you should have sales tax. There are times where people kind of don't. Like if you're just a hobbyist and you're just selling certain things, that you don't have to go through all of that. Some people say they want it so that they can save on, or it's like, oh, well, I don't want to have to pay taxes when I go and purchase something. And that is a benefit in not paying out taxes, but then when you go to do your taxes now, filing your sales and use tax is different from your state, like end of the year taxes, and it's different from your federal taxes. These are all totally different things. A lot of people think that because someone said, oh, well, we don't have state taxes. State taxes at the end of the year, when you file your refund, all of that is different from your sales and use. Every single state has that. So when you have that 7%, and then like the 1% for the different counties and all that stuff, you have to report that to your local, so the local one, like here, but it's like for your state. And then you have to break it down based off of your sales. You have to put in all of your sales, but then put in what would the exempt sales, and you have to pay it out for the state's taxes, and then the individual like counties and stuff like that, because all of them will have different taxes as well. So there is a bit to that. So getting your resale means that you are prepared. If your state is one that you have to file your sales and use tax return, come on, you have to submit it every month. In Florida, it's every quarter. So we have to do that every single quarter. And then on your taxes, you then end up putting that you had to pay that out, because like, let's say if you have an e-commerce site, right? They're not, even if you get an app that's going to pay it for you, that's just an app taking it and then paying it. But when someone goes in and they make an order and they pay what's that thing called? They pay the shipping, they pay the taxes. Technically, all of that money comes to you. And then you, as the business owner, have to go and pay for the shipping, pay your taxes, pay this, that, and the third. So when you're looking at, when they give you their report of how much money they sent you, that went through their system, it's including all of that. That's why on your taxes, it has a space to say, okay, how much did you pay out in sales and use? Like all the different taxes that you paid out. It can be like when you're starting out, it can be a benefit to be able to take those, but then it's like it's more work on you. Like the amount of money, like you pay 7% or pay that little bit of taxes. When you are putting it on your tax at the end of the year, you put the total cost that you paid, including the taxes. So that can help you on your hello. Oh my God, we can. Hello. They're trying to get through. I need you to go. Okay. Shut up. I was trying to go to where more cars wouldn't come, but now the light changed because people would just keep going. So I was going to use my car to kind of block so that no more cars wouldn't come and they all can get out of the way and the fire rescue truck can come through. But anywho, your LLC is basically just not, I'm not going to say like legalizing. It just makes it to where like if you're wanting to make certain moves, it is best to have that documentation and having that official kind of thing, like official measures like in place, because there are going to be times where you are going to need that for certain moves you're trying to make in your business. When you are going to be, when you're filing your taxes, having that in place, and depending on, I mean, okay, here's the thing with LLCs that most people don't know. Really, LLC, I mean, it separates it, but if you're not doing things like really creating a contract between yourself and your business, and you're just taking money from it, if someone can prove that you really don't have a separation between your business and your personal with how you're handling the money, they can still come after you personally if they have to sue you because you're not operating as a business. You can't give yourself a W-2, and I mean, depends on how you have it taxed. So you can have yourself an LLC, but then with like when you do your EIN and all that stuff, how do you have it classified? How are they going to tax you as a corporation, as a sole proprietor, partnership, and all that? It's way more than some of these programs are making it out to be. And just filing it, but you have to understand what you're filing. Yesterday was the day that those who are in Florida, if you have a registered Sunbiz account, you had to go and do all like go on there and submit your annual like report and all that stuff. So you have to do all of that. If not, anyone that does it after 11:59, they're now going to pay $400. So there's process and there's steps to that most people just don't think of, and like they don't really teach you about keeping up and redoing your paperwork every single year and paying for it and all that stuff. And then it's like if it's an LLC, if it's an S corp, you can't give yourself a W-2 because you are the partner. If you watch Power, that had a very, very important lesson in there for business owners, right? So the new one, the one with Tariq, when he had to show that he had a job, he needed a W-2. He could not be the person on the LLC. So he had to make Braden the president on it, so that he is the person that owns the company, and then Braden can say that he's working, and he'll be able to give him a W-2 so that the courts can see that he is actually making money. So that's the thing. If you are the person that is the partner, you cannot be an employee technically of your business. So you do what's called draws and stuff, but you don't have W-2. So that's the other thing that most people don't talk about when it comes to LLC. They're just throwing it out there to you and telling you do LLC, all of this, whatever, and never really breaking it down. But you don't have to have that to just start up and to be able to collect money. You can have a Shopify, you can have an Etsy, you can have all these different things without having an LLC. You can go and you can just basically be self-employed, doing it the right way, in that you are paying, the taxes based off of the money that you make in business. So you're paying your taxes, you are filing your state taxes, you're doing your, if you're going to do your sales, and especially, you're charging sales tax, you need to be able to pay all of that, do all your sales taxes. That's being a legal business and going through all of that. 1 second. Hello, Shakia. The spicy chicken deluxe combo with a large fry and large vanilla milkshake. Okay. The 30 count meal, large fry with a sweet tea. Yes. Well, this is the Sunjoy sweet tea and lemonade. Light on the lemonade, heavy on the tea. And then he'll be all right. That's fine. My son gonna want something, but he'll be all right. That's it for that one. Uh-huh. Barbecue. But yeah, so long answer but short answer, no, you don't need either of those to actually run to monetize your products and services. To run a business, it is best to have it. So that's kind of, you're a crafter, you're starting out, you don't have to have that to monetize and to be able to get money and like to collect money from people. But when you're wanting to now run a business and you're going to do all things business, yes, you then need to do all of the things. What are some things you can do to increase traffic to your website? Be consistent. Be consistent, be consistent, be consistent. Although you are utilizing, remember, I always say social media is a resource, not the source. So you can utilize social media. But you're going to have to be very consistent on your social media, posting to, if you are just starting and you don't have like a major audience. Like, I'm not big on Instagram, but I also don't need to be big on Instagram. I eventually want to be able to post more to Instagram, and I'm trying my best to get into TikTok. TikTok has helped a lot of businesses. I'm just not big on it. I like to go to those more as a consumer of the content versus a content creator. I do very well with my core area, which is YouTube and Facebook, and I'm very consistent with posting on those. So you can either choose particular platforms to be very consistent on, but you want to just be consistent with posting it. You want to be consistent locally with promoting your business, whether it is giving out like utilizing yours. When you have to do a baby shower, instead of going out to buy something, maybe you're going to make something, but make it look presentable and treat it no different than if you got it to someone else. Putting a card in there that says the business and QR codes and stuff like that. Networking with others. I often tell the story that how I got into a very successful business when it came to signs and stuff like that, and just using vinyl. I was not looking to ever do major windows and all the full coverings and all of that. That is a business that if you start off one way, you can definitely grow to that. But just even in the small things. So I would go to stores and I would offer to, like, let's say they had a piece of paper and it was tearing up and it just had like words. I'll come in, I'll do that one. And then from there, they would ask me about doing other items. And then they would refer me to other people. If you're doing great work to where others are your mouthpiece and they are spreading the word about you, so get more traffic to and just more awareness of your business and traffic are two different things. So I guess right now I'm talking about more sort of awareness of your business, and that is just having good business and to where people want to refer you to others. Being very, like I said, consistent, being making it very clear on what your services are, who you service. I said, girl, you better not walk your little butt back out here. Girl, I know that. Who you are marketing to. Is it like, who is it for? So consistently marketing and putting out content for that. And as far as just getting it to your website, if someone asks you something, don't spend too much time communicating with them through your inbox, through your text message. Make sure that you are directing them to your website. Now, just regular cold traffic to your site. If you're looking to just get cold traffic to your site, you're going to have to invest in ads. If you're not going to have ways, you can use like brand ambassadors to where they're going to talk about using your services and stuff, and they're going to tell people and they know how to get there. Having QR codes where it makes it easier to get to your site. It's a lot of different things as far as traffic to the site. But your first objective should be awareness of your business, not just traffic to your site, awareness of your business. Because you can have a whole bunch of traffic to your site because they just coming to be nosy. That doesn't mean that they're going to convert. You click in the description and then it'll say give StreamYard permission. So if you're on your phone, if you tap it, it brings up the description. You scroll and it says, I want to give StreamYard permission or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Forgot to tell them not that much ice, but whoever, whatever. And they walk off. They don't bother to ask if you need anything else. I actually did want some Splenda, and they just run off and don't really ask if you need something else. Ain't no ketchup. They'll ask me for sauce, but I still need ketchup. Like, I shouldn't have to ask for ketchup. Excuse me, can you have to bring me some ketchup, please? Thank you. And these fries, I got 2 large fries. And I forgot to tell them no whipped cream for my husband milkshake, but he'll be okay. Thank you. Um, okay, so this is another thing that I can't tell because it just says Facebook user, so I'm not sure if the same person is asking this as far as telling me what they are wanting to get into and if they're asking about business loans, because it just says Facebook user. So I don't know if it is the same person or not. But please, as although business loans are available, they are still a loan, which means it has to be paid off. It has to be paid back. Be very mindful and be very careful with taking on business loans. If you don't have the business to support repaying that loan and also making money for, like, that where your business is making money and you are making money. We have opportunities for business loans and stuff like that, but we're not going to take advantage of it. Like, I'm not going to go and get a business loan just for, like, if you don't have the clientele or you don't have, like, if you're not really going to market for like your launch and all that stuff to pay for like inventory and supplies and stuff like that, there are things that you can do with like regular credit cards. A loan is normally something that's going to be a big amount. You don't want to waste that, and you're in the fact that you're just using it, it's not really productive use of it. I've had a couple sessions and a couple calls, and the things that people want to use business loan for, and I'm like, no, like, you're going to have to spend some of your own money or get certain types of investments or build. And then once you're ready to really grow and elevate your business, then let's look into loans that's going to help you maybe get a large amount of inventory, because you can support that. Like, you have the customer base to support needing to get a large amount of inventory. If you are going to like, let's say you're moving into a space and you want to be able to have that to cover maybe rent or cover staff until you kind of get going, but you know that you're already putting in the work. If you're someone that's just starting out, you are still questioning yourself about pricing. You're still questioning yourself about marketing. You're still, questioning how to post to social media. If you have more questions and answers for your business, then you're not in a position to where you need to really be thinking about a business loan, because it's just going to be money wasted. You're going to mess up your business credit. For what reason? You need to have a good grasp of your business. It's no different than your own personal. You can end up with bad credit for your business. Why put that on your business? I see a lot of people saying, like, they're trying to build up and they're getting unnecessary stuff from Uline and Granger. I mean, you can only get so much stuff from there. You are a small business. You're not going to where you're going through this stuff monthly or every other month and stuff like that. So I'm not big on the net 30 accounts, because if you don't need that stuff like that, if you're not purchasing boxes like that, if you're not going to go and purchase small amounts just so that you can then go back. And so let's say you have the money and you can either go and purchase 100 boxes, like, shipping boxes or whatever. And that might last you a couple of weeks, a couple of months. Or if, just so that you can keep up with your net 30 and so that you can keep getting things on it, and to build that, you might go and you're ordering 25 at a time. But then that's going to get aggravating, ordering and have to reorder and have to pay for shipping. I'd rather order a big amount, pay less on shipping, and call that ish a day and just store that. So net 30s and all those with these different companies, if you're not running a business where you're going through that stuff all the time, to me, that's like one of the dumbest things that people recommend, because you're not utilizing that stuff all the time. It's only so many pins you need, so many this, so many that you actually need from these companies. But there are ways to, to be honest, as soon as you file your LLC, you have a whole lot of folks sending you stuff for credit cards. Start off small. The way to build your business credit, like a more effective way, is the same way that you build your personal credit. When you go and you set up your business articles, whether it's an LLC, an S Corp, a C Corp, or any of those, you're going to now be on everybody's radar. They all have access to that. They're going to be sending you a lot of different offers. And what you do is anything for business. So when you do have to go to like the smalls, you have to go to the Amazons of them all. You are paying for it with your business credit card, and then you are paying that off. When you have to go get gas, you're paying for it with that, especially if you're using your vehicle for a business. You can put, when it comes to like your gas and like splitting that, figuring out how all that goes. So you're making regular business purchases with these smaller limit credit cards, but then they go and they build, and you grow and you grow and you grow and you grow. That is the better way to build business credit, the same way that you're going to build personal credit. But don't take out loans unnecessarily. Ooh, you friggin'. And then you still over there. You obviously don't care about that little fancy Porsche that you have. I know you got good insurance because you got a Porsche. Hit me and hit my little Durango if you want to. I need me an upgrade. Shoot. I have one more question. Which would you prefer, an LLC or sole proprietorship or S Corp? Sole proprietorship, LLC, pretty much is the same thing. If you really look it up, if you haven't Googled it, it's pretty much the exact same thing. When you are a single member LLC, it's really the same as almost like a sole proprietorship. It's just in how you are taxed. If you are wanting to do all of like so every time that you discuss something about your business, if you're going to do the S corp, you're going to have to take minutes and have all that stuff, because you're going to have all of that when it comes to doing your annual report and all of those things. But with having the S corp, oh wait, she don't have no shoes on. Oh, I don't have no extra shoes in the car. She stepped on something because she walked around with no shoes on. Ain't no shoe store around here either. Oh yeah, there's no type of like retail store. She's walking around with no shoes. If I had my Crocs in the car, I would have gave her my Crocs, but anyhow, so yeah, sole proprietorship LLC, technically when you're a single member LLC, it's pretty much kind of sort of the same. It's just all in how you file. And as a regular LLC, you're still going to file with your regular. You can pretty much basically file that with your regular taxes and all that stuff. Once you have the S corp, it is two different ones, and there are certain things that you can do business wise and payroll wise with it. But if you don't have a payroll, then it's like kind of like pointless. It's and you don't, just because you start off as one doesn't mean that's where you have to be at forever. If you're just wanting to go so that you can get certain benefits as far as being a business, you can definitely go and do an LLC. And then if you do really, 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 really great this year and you want to now change it, you can. You have to pay for the difference, of course, yes, but it's a part of growth. It's like things like that. I don't understand why business owners stress about, oh, but I may not have to pay more. Okay, your business is going to grow. Eventually, you might outgrow being an S corp. You might need to be a full-on corporation. You might have to even do a whole separate one under that. That's the joy of elevating your business. We complain about things that is really about ensuring our growth, but we're complaining about it. And I'm like, but you're growing as a business owner. Oh, but I don't want to have to get, oh my God, I got to get business insurance. I have to pay out this, pay out that. If you are at that level, baby, accept that, like, that's a blessing. To have business related problems is a blessing, because that means that you have a business that is thriving. So embrace those things. I mean, we got to pay out money for a live business, liability insurance. We have to pay out for property insurance. We have to have workers' comp. We have to pay out staff. But the fact that we have a business where we can't afford to pay staff, that means that our business is thriving because we can afford to pay staff, and we are not taking like a major hit. The business, I mean, paying staff isn't. As business, you don't want to have too much left over. Your business is supposed to run business. So if you have staff, the money that your business is meant to pay staff is meant, you make a profit, or you get revenue in your business to take care of business. But if your mindset is that all the money that comes in, you're thinking about your own personal pockets and your own personal bank account, you're not thinking like a business person. Your business revenue should be to pay for shipping boxes. It's to pay for insurance. It's to pay for files. It's to pay for classes. It's to pay for websites. It's to pay for X, Y, and Z. That is why you are in business. So that's why you have to understand about pricing correctly, to where your business makes a profit to take care of business, and paying you is a part of that. We have a set amount that we pay ourselves, even though it's not through a W-2, it's basically a draw. But we have a contract between us and the business, and we pay it out every 2 weeks, just like anything else. It's automatically set up. It's an automatic draft that comes, and we abide to the contract on what our responsibilities are, how many hours minimum we are giving to the business per week. And then, of course, more than that it's more than that. But we have a contract between us and the business, even though we are partners, because that's going to prepare us for the next level when you are being paid as the president, or the this, the that, or whatever, like the actual title is. So there's a lot to it. And don't feel like you have to have everything perfect now and everything has to be in place. If you don't think that you're going to make a lot of mistakes in business, you are sadly mistaken. You're going to find that there are things that, okay, it may look like, it seem like it's working for you now. And then as you grow and elevate and things change, you're going to realize that it does not work for you. There are going to be things where you're going to lose out on money. But hey, that's the whole thing with business. It's called profit and loss for a reason. You're not always going to be in the positive. It's not going to always be peaches and cream and you're making money. You're going to lose money. And especially when you are trying to do everything yourself and not trying to keep up. Like right now, I have someone that did a chargeback and they have utilized, like, and Thinkific let me know that they have gone through the course and they went and said they don't know what this charge is. But because I was so focused on my room and this and the third, and I am the one that handles that. I wish in retrospect, I mean, we have a couple people on our team that handles different things. I'm learning to delegate. But when it comes to anything with that, that is my area. And I did not follow up to where they sided with them. So they have now gotten access to all of my course information saying they did not authorize the charge, yet they don't went through it because Thinkific even said, hey, they watched this course. So I don't know what they're talking about saying that they did not authorize this charge. They darn sure had no problem watching all the videos, but they have charged it back. So I lost out on that because I didn't follow up in time. I had it on my list. The alarm kept going off. I was doing something else and it just ended up screwing me over. But it is another one that's on there and I have to make sure I go and send all the evidence for that one. That way I don't lose out on that. But there's so much to business. We use this word very, very loosely. You know how your mom used to say, oh, don't use the word friend loosely, like don't call everybody your friend. Everybody can't say that they're running business because you're not trying to do everything when it comes to running a business. You have monetized your skills, monetize your crafts, and it's a side hustle, but it's not a business. Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. I got an LLC, just got my sales tax. Didn't know I had to do quarterly filing. It's so much to have to remember. It really is. So you have to have your ducks in a row so that you keep up with it. If you're still trying to figure out the craft part, trying to remember the business part, and you're trying to do everything yourself, it's a lot. You might need to hire someone that really handles that business side, and they're going to keep up with that to make sure that you are filing on time. This quarter, we actually did miss it by one day, but they end up giving us a credit. So it's like, so it's kind of crazy because we actually overpaid and we end up with a credit, but we technically missed it by the day. A lot of people missed yesterday's deadline for their annual report for their business. We have to file taxes. We have to do sales tax for North Carolina and Georgia. Georgia requires it every single month, so keeping up with that. I think North Carolina might be every quarter, like Florida, so we can kind of just do all of that in one. And then I think we're close to having to do sales tax for Texas. So imagine having to keep up with all when you want an e-commerce site and your site is bumping and you're getting sales from all over, having to keep up with the sales laws of all these different places and filing the sales, like your sales and use tax for all of these different states. It's a lot. Treat my food like my kids. My turn, I got to hold it. I hear police turn. I don't know where you at, so I'm gonna keep it moving. I'm gonna turn down my street. I try to make sure I'm not blocking nobody, but I don't hear where y'all coming from. Oh, they're behind us. Okay, they way back there. All right. Hold on, I'm gonna read your question in just a moment. I had to turn the corner. Where should I start if I want to where should you start if you want to turn your hobby into a business? how effective are you with it as a hobby? That's the first part. As far as turning it into a business, there are things that are going to naturally be progressive and, like, into that. If you're wanting to now become a business, it's really understanding everything that comes with it. Business, there's business, turning something into a business is not just filing an LLC or getting a website. You have to really think about everything when it comes to business. What are your, what does your customer service look like? What if you're in a business where it ships out? What does that look like? If you're in a business where it's, you're doing deliveries or you're doing pickups, what are the standards when it comes to that? Do you have standards in place for that? When it comes to business, do you have something in place as far as how often do you check emails and going through that, keeping up with your website, keeping up with social media? Business is a whole lot more than creating a name, collecting money, creating an LLC. So where do you start in turning your business, your hobby, into a business? Getting a full understanding of what it means to be a business person. I look at everything as business when I'm out and about, looking at how people run their business, looking at the really and working and helping, because trying to do it all there we go, can be overwhelming. So the first part in going from a hobby to a business is to really sit down and think about some of the things that's going to come with becoming a business. Responsibilities of running a business, sitting down, analyzing that, looking at how much time you have. So for us, with running a successful business, I've kind of talked about this a little bit before, like last month, but some of you guys don't even know how much inventory you have. You don't have a budget. You don't have a plan. You don't know what your overhead is. You haven't calculated any of that. So if you want to run a business, it's doing the things that don't make you money. That's where you should start. Focusing on the things that don't make you money. Sitting down to calculate your overhead. Doing inventory. And because of how Even's job is, we slacked on it. Now we're doing it to where we're doing monthly inventories to make sure that it matches up with your sales. Because if you plan to grow, you're going to get to that point to where you're going to want to see that the inventory that you have matches up with your sales, so you're not having this big loss. I mean, you have other people coming in and helping, working for you. If you go and your inventory don't match the sales, that means somebody's stealing. But if you don't think about those things, not that you have to implement, but you are really thinking about them and understanding that's how businesses work, it will help you as you grow. It makes the transition a little bit easier. So there's a lot of, every business is going to be different. Someone that just does, not say just does as if it's like this, not like a major business, but if you are a hair stylist, you going into it, there are certain certifications that you have to have. And then just because you may not work in your own salon, you are still a business entity when you are renting a booth or renting a chair at somebody else's salon. But how you handle your clients, you showing up on time, you having certain procedures and things like that in place, you have certain follow-ups, you have this, you have that. Those are a part of running a business, even if you're in somebody else's space. Business is not just the making of stuff, the marketing of stuff, the legalizing of it. It's so much more to it. Wait, so if I get sales from North Carolina, I have to get sales tax. So there is a certain threshold when you're going through a e-commerce site like Shopify, because it's all kind of tracked, it tells you. So every state has different requirements. Some, it is a certain number of orders. So once you reach 200 orders in that state, you may have to start collecting taxes. Some of them, it's like 200 orders or $10,000. Once you hit $10,000, then you have to start collecting sales tax. Some of them, it's both. So you have to have the number of orders and the amount of revenue from it. But on Shopify, it tells you, like, but you can easily look it up too, what each state's requirement is. And then Shopify will let you know, hey, you've met the requirements for this one, you're nearing for this one. So once you have met those requirements and that, like, people from that state are consistently coming to your site to purchase, then yes, you have to then file to be able to collect taxes and pay that state their sales taxes. Organization helps everywhere. She says profit and loss, be relentless, and it's okay to lose, but have profitable wins too. Exactly. You have a one that you have not cashed in on. Y'all, I'm home. I'm hungry. Been hungry since earlier. I probably won't be live again today because I got ish to do. All right. But it's been real. I thank y'all for always riding with me because I don't like riding alone. So until next time, have a great one. Hopefully this was helpful for you in some way, shape, or form. You found some little gem in the questions that were asked. Y'all see, I'm a wealth of knowledge. I don't mind sharing stuff. I do have paid classes and stuff. I have sessions where we go more into detail and it's more structure. So whenever I drop stuff, consider enrolling. I am one where, although I know the value might be high, I know the mindset that I am in right now as a business person, or just as a consumer in general. And I know if I ain't paying that cost, I ain't charging that cost, and that is not worth it. But I mean, that's just kind of how I am. So know that I am quite affordable. And the next time I drop a session, y'all better have your face in the place. All right. All right, y'all. I should talk to you later. Until next time, have a great one. Peace.